It's almost!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost. My name is Prathik Vinod. Let's get started. On the show today, Chris Gayle has broken his silence on his troubled stint with the Punjab-based IPL franchise. The universe boss claims he was disrespected by the Punjab Kings, formerly known as the Kings 11 Punjab, and reveals the treatment left him depressed. Was this toxic culture the real reason behind his retirement? Next up, Cristiano Ronaldo is winning hearts yet again, not with goals, but with a gesture towards a young fan. During Portugal's match against Armenia, Ronaldo consoled his mascot who broke down in tears. He even made a new friend. Are these the moments that truly define his legendary status? All that and more, but first, let's take a look at the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with chess, world chess champion D. Gukesh was stunned by a 16-year-old American prodigy at the Grand Swiss. Abhimanyu Mishra beat Gukesh in the 5th round, and with this, Mishra has entered the record books. He is now the youngest to beat a reigning world champion in classical chess. So far, Gukesh has won twice, drawn 2 times and lost once in Samarkand. Moving to football, Italy barely keep their 2026 World Cup hopes alive with a win over Israel. The Azzurri beat Israel 5-4 in a closely fought World Cup qualifier. Italy came twice from behind before Sandro Tonelli scored the winner in stoppage time. The 4-time world champions have not qualified for the men's event since 2014. Meanwhile, India finished 3rd in the 8-team CAFA Nations Cup tournament. The Blue Tigers stunned their higher-ranked opponents Oman on penalties. Oman scored the first goal in 55 minutes. India's Udanta Singh equalized with 10 minutes left in play. Khalid Jamil's men eventually won 3-2 on penalties, and with this, Jamil has won twice and lost once in his first 4 games in charge. On to hockey now. India's women's team have entered the Asia Cup Super Fours in grand style. They thrashed Singapore 12-0 in their final Group B match. The women in blue are unbeaten in the tournament so far. India are eyeing their first title since 2017. And summing it up with cricket, England got a major boost ahead of the Ashes, which starts in November. The captain Ben Stokes returned to training after this injury that he suffered against India last month. Stokes missed the final Anderson Tendulkar Trophy test due to a shoulder injury. Fast bowler Mark Wood is likely to resume training next week as well. Christopher Henry Gayle has sent shockwaves through the cricket world. The universe boss has opened up on his bitter stint with Punjab in the IPL. And his words, they cut very deep. Gayle has accused the Punjab franchise of sheer disrespect and says their treatment towards him pushed him towards depression. Which now raises the big question, was Punjab's toxic culture the real reason behind his retirement? And more importantly, is toxicity hurting cricket's biggest names? Ever since its launch in 2008, the IPL has been cricket's biggest blockbuster. It sets trends, breaks barriers and generates a lot of buzz, like no other. But in the mad chase for titles and trophies, has the joy of the game itself been sacrificed? Chris Gayle's statement certainly hints at it.
My IPL ended prematurely, with Punjab. I was disrespected. I felt like I wasn't being treated properly for a senior guy done so much for the league. That's the first time in my life I ever felt like a depression mood.
When the man who made cricket entertaining across the globe says this, it speaks volumes about what went wrong behind the scenes. This is a cricketer who defined the IPL brand. From his debut with Kolkata in 2009 to his 7 magical, crowd-pulling years with Bengaluru, Chris Gayle wasn't just hitting sixes, he was building the league's global identity. And yet, his final 3 years with Punjab changed everything. Now yes, it's understandable because Punjab has never won an IPL trophy, the desperation was sky high, but was crushing their own players really the solution?
I literally broke down when I was talking to him because I was really hurt. I cried and I was disappointed with Anil and how the entire thing was actually run.
So just think about this. Gayle isn't someone who abandons teams. The proof, during the Bengaluru versus Punjab final earlier this year, he was there cheering both sides, smiling in a turban and still carrying Punjab's colours with a lot of pride. You just saw him there having a lot of fun in the final. So for Gayle to walk out mid-season in 2021, you can only imagine how toxic it must have been. And Gayle isn't the only one. Remember last year, Rahul was at Lucknow. The public humiliation by franchise owner Sanjeev Goenka was there for the whole world to see. Fallout of that was so bad that Rahul's international form dipped as well. Yes, he fulfilled his contract, but the second the season ended, he left.
I wanted to start fresh. I wanted to explore my options, and I wanted to go and play where I could find some freedom, where the team atmosphere could be something lighter.
Notice the choice of words that he used there. Freedom, lighter. That's not talking about cricketing technique, that's about survival in a workplace. And then Rahul reportedly refused captaincy offers both for Delhi and Team India. Why? Because the scars of the toxic team culture were too deep. And it did not end there. Even Rishabh Pant faced a similar episode under the same Lucknow franchise owner earlier this year. This is becoming a pattern and it's a very dangerous one. Yes, every franchise wants to win. Yes, it's big business. Yes, the stakes are sky high. But aren't they forgetting what the IPL was meant to be? It was built as a breeding ground for youngsters, a theatre for the stars, and above all, a celebration of cricket. Pressure is natural, stakes are natural, but when owners and when the management forget the human side of sport, the game suffers. For Chris Gayle, it ended his IPL career prematurely. Who knows, the universe boss would have still dazzled the IPL had it not been for Punjab. For KL Rahul, it forced him to chase freedom over leadership. For Rishabh Pant, it's a weight he still carries with a $3 million price tag. So here's the big picture. When even legends like Chris Gayle admit that they were broken down by toxic team culture, it's no longer a dressing room issue. It's a disease spreading across the franchises. Because in the end, you can replace players, you can buy captains, you can chase trophies, but if the franchise culture itself is broken, no matter how many sixes you hit, how many crores you spend, you'll always be chasing shadows. And as Gayle's words prove, the universe boss may have left Punjab, but Punjab left a scar that cricket cannot ignore. As the FIFA Men's World Cup edges closer, all eyes are still locked on two giants of football, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Messi may be dazzling crowds over in America, but in Europe, Ronaldo isn't just scoring goals, he's cementing his legacy in ways that go far beyond the pitch. Because Ronaldo doesn't just break records, he breaks barriers between superstar and the fans. During Portugal's clash with Armenia, his young mascot was overwhelmed, so awestruck and teary-eyed, unable to hold back his emotions. And what Ronaldo did speaks volumes about him. He made the young fan the most important person in that stadium. CR7's hunger for goals makes him a legend, but his humanity, his heart and his gestures like this, that's what makes him an icon. Our next report tells you more. The giant of Europe, Cristiano Ronaldo, may have left the continent to settle in Saudi Arabia. But his popularity across Europe, untouched, unmatched and unfading. Saudi Arabia might be his new home, but Europe will forever remain his kingdom. That's why whenever Ronaldo returns for international duty, it feels less like a match and more like a festival. Stadiums turn into carnivals, fans turn into pilgrims, because every chance to watch Ronaldo in the twilight of his career feels like history in the making. And he rarely disappoints. 5 goals in his last 4 international outings, numbers that seal his legendary status yet again. But Portugal's World Cup qualifier against Armenia proved something far greater. That Ronaldo isn't just about goals, he's about the moments. Moments that bridge the gap between superstar and supporter. Moments that make football human again. Before kickoff, a young mascot walked behind the Portuguese captain, overwhelmed, teary-eyed and awestruck. The boy simply couldn't control his emotions in the tunnel, and Ronaldo noticed. Bent down, he comforted him, he consoled him. He made sure that the boy felt like the most important person in the stadium that night. And it did not end there. After the game, Ronaldo extended the gesture to social media, announcing his friendship with the young fan and immortalizing the moment. This is what separates Ronaldo. He understands the value of a fan's dream. He knows the power of making someone feel seen, and even in the twilight of his career, he never takes that connection for granted. Because this wasn't the first time. Earlier this year at the Global Soccer Awards, a young supporter tried to reach Ronaldo but was pushed back by security. Ronaldo spotted it. He waved the boy through and signed his jersey, giving him a memory for life. And go back to last year, the Euro 2024 warm-up against Ireland. Ronaldo's moment wasn't a goal, it was not an assist, it was a gesture. He walked hand in hand with a wheelchair-bound child mascot, guided her onto the field and stood by her during the national anthem. A footballer, but more importantly a role model. And it's not just Europe. When Ronaldo travels to Hong Kong for the Saudi Super Cup last month, he was the showstopper, the magnet, the man who could silence a stadium with a smile.
I've been loving him for 15 years, from 2010, and actually he added a lot of value to my own personalities, and every time when I was facing my difficulties and challenges, I think of him and never give up and keep trying.
I'm so excited because I can finally see the best player of the football, the player who everyone has been anticipating, Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Everywhere he goes, Asia, Europe, the Middle East, Ronaldo isn't just a player, he's a global phenomenon. From consoling crying mascots, to fighting through crowds just to sign a young fan's jersey, to holding the hand of a specially abled child on the biggest stage. Cristiano Ronaldo has shown time and again he is more than just the numbers on a score sheet. Because while his hunger for goals, trophies and records will forever make him a legend, it's these human moments, these gestures of heart that make him immortal. Ronaldo continues to move the world, one fan, one smile and one moment at a time. Legends are remembered for what they win. Icons are remembered for what they give. And Cristiano Ronaldo seems to be doing both. It's time for Last Serve now. For our last story, we take you to Britain, where golf isn't just about slow swings, calm greens and polite claps. Because this time, speed met golf. 2 words you hardly expect in the same sentence. James Hardy came out on top and was crowned the British speed golf champion. Not just because he nailed his shots, but because he was lightning quick while doing it. Imagine sprinting across the fairway, sinking putts and racing against time. It's golf, but with a stopwatch ticking. Take a look at the crazy mashup of race and golf. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow.